Samuel had never known what it felt like to have money. Every morning before sunrise, he opened his tiny roadside mechanic workshop. The workshop was nothing more than a rusty metal roof, a wooden table, and a few old tools. But Samuel didn't complain. He believed that honest work was better than begging. For 25 years, he had lived with one unanswered question. Who was his father? His mother had refused to tell him much. She only said one thing whenever he asked. Your father was a good man, but circumstances separated us. Before she died, Samuel's mother left him only a small wooden box. Inside it was an old photograph. The picture showed a young man holding a little boy. On the back of the photograph were 4 words. My son, my greatest regret. Samuel had spent years wondering who the man was, until one afternoon, a customer brought him a newspaper. On the front page was the photograph of one of Nigeria's wealthiest businessmen. Samuel froze. The man's face looked older, but he recognized him immediately. It was the same man from the photograph. The businessman was called Chief Emmanuel Okoro. According to the newspaper, Chief Okoro was celebrating the 25th anniversary of his company. Samuel stared at the photograph for several minutes. His heart raced. Could this really be his father? He almost dismissed the thought, but then he remembered his mother's final words. When the time is right, you will know who you are. The next morning, Samuel put the old photograph in his pocket and walked toward the Okoro family mansion. The mansion was unlike anything Samuel had ever seen. Tall gates, expensive cars, beautiful gardens, uniformed security guards. Samuel stood outside feeling completely out of place. When he told the security guard that he needed to speak with Chief Okoro, the guard laughed. You? Samuel nodded. I have something important to tell him. The guard looked at his dirty clothes and old sandals. Come back when you can afford to enter through the front gate. Somehow, Samuel eventually managed to get inside. Chief Okoro was sitting with his family when Samuel showed him the photograph. The room became silent. Chief Okoro stared at the picture. His hands began to shake. But before he could speak, his eldest son, Victor, grabbed the photograph. This is ridiculous, Victor accused Samuel of trying to steal money from the family. Samuel remained calm. I didn't come for your money, Victor laughed. Then why are you here? Samuel looked directly at Chief Okoro. Because I believe you are my father. Everyone in the room burst into disbelief. Victor called him a fraud. One of the family members told him to leave. Samuel's eyes filled with tears, but he refused to fight. Chief Okoro looked at the photograph again. Something about it disturbed him. Then Samuel rolled up his sleeve. On his left shoulder was a small crescent-shaped scar. Chief Okoro suddenly stood up. His face changed. Where did you get that scar? Samuel answered, My mother told me I had it since I was a baby. Chief Okoro slowly sat down. Because 25 years earlier, his missing son had disappeared with the exact same scar. The room fell completely silent. Chief Okoro ordered everyone to stop arguing. We will do a DNA test. Victor immediately objected. But Chief Okoro refused to listen. Samples were collected. And for 3 painful days, Samuel waited. He didn't sleep properly. He didn't know whether he wanted the results to be positive or negative. If the test was negative, he would return to his little workshop and continue his life. But if it was positive, everything he believed about himself would change. On the 3rd morning, the doctor entered the room carrying a sealed envelope. Everyone was present. Chief Okoro, Victor, the family members, and Samuel. The doctor opened the envelope. He looked at Chief Okoro, then at Samuel. Finally, he spoke. The test confirms a biological father-son relationship. Nobody moved. Victor's face became pale. Chief Okoro covered his mouth. Samuel stared at the floor. Tears rolled down his face. After 25 years, he had finally found his father. But the story wasn't over. Samuel noticed something strange. The DNA results proved who his father was, but it didn't explain why he had disappeared. Chief Okoro believed Samuel had died 25 years earlier. His wife had been told that their newborn son was missing after an accident. But Samuel's mother had always insisted that her child was alive. Someone had lied. Someone had hidden the truth. After hours of questioning, the truth finally emerged. Years earlier, Chief Okoro's trusted business partner, Mr. Benson, had arranged for Samuel to disappear. He believed that if Chief Okoro's first son was gone, Victor would eventually inherit the family fortune. Samuel's mother had escaped with the baby, but she never stopped searching for the truth. Benson had spent 25 years protecting his secrets until Samuel walked through the mansion gates. Chief Okoro was devastated. He apologized to Samuel for all the years they had lost. Victor, who had once insulted him, couldn't look him in the eyes. Samuel had every reason to be angry. He had lived in poverty while his father lived in a mansion. Don't allow another person's wickedness to destroy the goodness inside you. Chief Okoro offered Samuel a position in the family company. He also offered him a large house and enough money to change his life forever. Samuel accepted the opportunity to work, but he surprised everyone with what he requested. He didn't ask for a luxury car. He didn't ask for a mansion. He didn't ask for revenge. He asked his father to help poor young people learn useful skills. Samuel said, "I know what it feels like to have talent but no opportunity. I know what it feels like to be judged because of the clothes you wear. I don't want another young person to experience what I experienced." Chief Okoro agreed. Together, they opened a vocational training center for young people from poor communities. Samuel became the director. 5 years later, the small mechanic who had once been laughed at outside a mansion had become a respected businessman. But he never forgot where he came from. Every year, hundreds of young people received free training at his center. Mechanics, electricians, tailors, technicians, entrepreneurs. Samuel had inherited his father's wealth, but he chose to inherit something greater: his mother's kindness. Sometimes the greatest treasure isn't the money you inherit. It's the life you give others after you receive a second chance. Samuel went to the mansion looking for his father. He left with something much greater: a family, a purpose, and a chance to change hundreds of lives. So never judge someone because of where they are today. You may have no idea what tomorrow has prepared for them. If this story touched your heart, tell us in the comments. Would you forgive the people who kept you away from your family for 25 years? And don't forget to subscribe to Koslans Studio, where every story comes to life.